And live from Chicago for the first time ever, we are here tonight on episode 1 of the Rock Radio USA show. Welcome, everyone. I'm Michael P. Russell. I'm here to host, and we got Metal Marine up in the co-pilot.
Shout out.
And everyone, so honored and so excited to have tonight Chicago's very own Genna Simon.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Welcome. Chicago-based you are, and rightfully so. Got to keep it based, stay based, right? Love the dreamy music. Dreamy, very kind of like pop, flow, singer-songwriter of quite a particular taste. I really dig it. I really like
you so
the...
It's a vibe.
Yeah, the vibe is there. How long have you been writing for?
I've been writing since like my senior year of high school, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, so you've been kind of writing for a minute then.
Yeah, I have.
Very interesting. What, if you don't mind me asking, we'll get right into it.
Oh, cool.
When you first started writing, what was it that made you want to write a song in the first place?
Well, it was like we were doing the senior project in school, and it was like everyone had to make their own project. I don't know what it was, and mine was that I wanted to write a song or 2 songs, I think.
Cool.
I think I only wrote 1, but yeah, that's kind of where it came from. I have always been interested in writing.
Cool.
But I think that was the first time I was like, I'm going to actually write a song, like not just like journaling bad teenager lyrics, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So prior to that, you were kind of thinking maybe about writing a song?
I'd been playing guitar for a while. I grew up doing all the musical theater stuff.
No kidding.
And singing in church.
So how long have you been playing the guitar for?
Shout out to Jesus.
Shout out to Jesus. Since 8th grade. So,
nice.
I wanted to play guitar to learn how to accompany myself singing. And it was really to learn all of Taylor Swift's Fearless album.
Oh, shout out to Taylor, one of our favorites.
Probably the best.
For sure.
The best to ever do it.
Wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's how it started. I went to college. I was a vocal performance major at first. And then I switched to, like, contemporary musicianship. It's not a major anymore. It's... But it was, I don't know, it was a lot of, like, that was more composition-based. And I met people at school that also wrote music, so it was, like, a good scene. So I started doing that more.
That is so nice. Like, what was the first song that you wrote? Do you remember?
I do remember it because I actually recorded it.
Yourself?
Yeah, at my first EP.
There we go. Yeah. Indie, let's go.
It's
Do it yourself.
I was just thinking about it because we played it at my like EP release show.
No kidding.
And
that is
like,
awesome.
Part of me was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore because it sounds real. Like I liked performing it, but at the same time, it feels like the lyrics can be so.
Yeah.
Like,
do they take you back to that time?
Too vulnerable.
Yeah. Wow.
To a time where I'm like, oh man.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of teen angst in there.
Teen emotions, yeah.
And emotions, yeah. Well, that is so cool though that you played that still for the CD release. It's funny. I remember. I think the Burlington we played. I had played an album myself called Sister Persephone there.
Okay.
But
cool.
One of the features that I did was a song that I wrote when I was like 13 too. So we share somewhat of a similar experience. Yeah. That's very cool that you still brought out that first song.
Yeah. I will say that like when it comes to songwriting, like my approach is so like kind of slow. Like I'm editing in my brain.
Yeah.
And so like I don't have a lot of songs that I haven't put like a ton of thought into.
Yeah.
Or like finished songs that I've put like a ton of, haven't put a ton of thought into. So it's like, I don't know. I'm really careful for some reason
Cool.
like that. I'm trying to be less like that, but
Love it. And on September 1st of the year 2017, you released your first official bop, right?
I thought you were going to quiz me on like,
Professionally on all
happened
streaming
with it?
services.
yeah.
What made you be like, that's the one? We're releasing this out.
Oh.
We're doing this.
Oh, okay. So,
Which I want to say right off the bat, love the artwork on that. And
Oh,
like the
really?
spirals, like especially
that
the
was like me doodling in my notebook.
Okay, cool.
in
Really dig
between
it.
classes. Yeah, so I wrote that song like junior year of college, and then my friend Ryan
Shout out to college.
shout out to college. My friend Ryan Donlin, who's a musician, and he's in a ton of different bands too, in Chicago. He
Cool.
Also helped me like produce the EP. He recorded my whole first EP.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he wanted to like get more practice recording, so he offered to record that song for me. And I had been writing like an arrangement for it too, so that was kind of, it's not mastered or anything. We just kind of, it's pretty raw. We just kind of put it out there. But yeah, that's
I
kind
really
of,
liked that first EP.
Yeah.
It was really
or the
cool.
yeah, just that one song.
Mhm.
That was just the single, Just Fine.
Just Fine.
Yeah.
And on Just Fine, the strings. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
Those sounded good, too. Really good.
Yeah, it's that was fun to arrange. I haven't done a lot of like arranging stuff like that in a while.
Very
But,
cool.
Yeah.
That 5-tracker in 2019, that one was a fun one as well. Really enjoyed The Way I Was.
Yes,
the
that's the
drums.
one I wrote in high school.
That was
Yeah.
the one? Oh my gosh. Well, one of my favorites right off the bat
Yeah.
is one of your first songs ever, so that's wild. Very cool. Overall, that one was really cool. I dug the album art on that one a lot,
Yeah.
too. And with the horizon and everything,
Yeah.
I noticed, the rose on the horizon there. Was there any significance
I
there?
just was like really into roses at the time.
Really cool.
Yeah, I like
Dreamy.
that. Yeah.
Surreal.
Yeah, my friend from high school, Emma Cragen, did that. Yeah, that was a good. It's so interesting because I feel like with the new one, I wanted to go more of a different vibe. But I do really, yeah, I do like that EP. I think it was hard for me to listen back to it and like prepare to play those songs again for some reason. Some of them.
Gotcha. How many of those songs did you play? At the band?
Like 3 of them.
3, cool.
Yeah. 3 of them? Yeah.
Very nice. And off the bat, I mean, obviously the latest, the new album,
Yeah.
EP is super groovy.
Thank you.
How long have you been cooking that one up?
A while. Like the songs a lot of the songs on there I'd had for a while. But we started recording it in May.
Okay.
And then from there spent time mixing, and yeah, it was out by December. So yeah.
Cool.
Feels good to have it all out there though.
Yeah, where did you record?
I recorded at Gravity Studios.
Shout out to Gravity.
My friend Minji Will. Shout out to Minji.
Shout
Always.
out to Minji. Gravity's a beautiful studio. And they have a great live room that for the drums is spot on.
It was
Super
like
good.
very cool to have like a friend that worked there and getting to like use that space. It was cool.
Super cool. How many days were you guys?
Just
in
one
there?
day.
Oh, just the one.
And then another day we were in the studio for vocals. So technically we only used like 2 days to record. Or we recorded vocals all in like one night, actually. So yeah. Yeah, it didn't take super long.
Before we dive back into the recording process there, On Enough, the closer off that second EP there, the lyrics, I am no one's shadow, I am no one's dull find.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, thank you.
That was proper. And then, in the end, it is only me and I am enough.
Yeah.
Beautiful song.
Thank you.
How did Enough come to be?
I had gone through like a really, well, it was my first relationship, and it was like messy breakup. And so a lot of like Just Fine came out of that. I'd like never written a song faster. But yeah, Enough came from that. Just it's about like more than just that. I think it was just I don't know. I like to call that song like a self-love song. Because that's kind of what it is. It's just like a reminder, you know, that you're enough. Because it's so easy to get so down on yourself. And I've struggled with that. So, yeah. I think...
it's a really powerful message and a great way to end the album. I thought it was like, or the EP.
You.
It was really... real strong, you know.
Thank you.
And yeah, I know the struggles can be real out there.
The struggles can be real.
Beautiful little EP. Anxiety song right off the bat, off the new one. I loved the line, and I see static always hanging over me. It shapes into figures in my dreams.
My friend called that the scary song once.
The scary song.
Because I think that line is pretty scary. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
What do you think about dreams?
Dreams are weird because mine are always very, very crazy. And then I know a lot of emotional turmoil has happened in the dream, and then I wake up and I can't remember any of it, which is so crazy.
Do you ever remember them?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll like wake up and I'll like text my sister them because I'm like, I need to document this. But then I don't even know.
I gotcha.
I still don't even.
Have you ever
remember.
tried to do a dream journal?
So I actually did like in college once. I had written down a dream that I did, and I brought it to like a free improv class as like, because we were supposed to bring just random text and improvise off of it.
Okay.
And I brought that in from like my notes app on my phone.
Okay.
And it was something really like nonsensical about like Louis C.K.
Shout out to
Oh, no. This was before he was canceled.
I'm sorry.
Not like it's better, but it's like just a random dream, like he was stealing ice cream or something, like something
Come on,
really
Louis.
crazy.
like as far as like everybody in the grand scheme, like guys who got canceled or like dudes who got like canceled after that, he's like the lower end of like
Yeah,
he didn't do anything that was like non-consensual. It was just like power dynamic and then gross, like it was
disgusting.
like Cosby or like some of these are like Harvey Weinstein. It was like
I would still say
crimes.
it's non-consensual.
I'm not 100%
Not good.
what that was happened a while ago. Though. I don't really remember everything he did.
It was like we don't have to get into it.
Right.
But
Song for Normie, which is
Song for
that's
Normie.
a great title.
Thank
off
you.
the bat. Like how
like
did
that
you
one.
title that one? Like, great name for a song.
I don't know. It was just like about someone I knew was really normal.
Normie.
But yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like that. And sometimes it's okay to be just norm, you know?
Yes, it is okay. It is
nothing-
okay to be a normie.
A norm storm, you know?
Norms.
Just chilling. That was cool. I really liked the snare. The snare really popped on that one.
Yeah.
That's
Who did the drums on that? Yeah, like, there's
So
some pretty good
the
drums
drummer
on
is
that.
Dylan Walker. He's like, yeah, he's awesome.
Shout out to Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan.
Yeah.
He also works at Gravity.
Shout out to Gravity.
Shout out to Gravity again.
Love that space. Is Dylan playing in any bands?
You know, I think this might be the only one he's still doing like live stuff for, but he's got different projects going on. I wish I could remember the names of them. but he's like doing a lot with his friends and stuff. He wrote I think he wrote an album about a robot that gets lost in space.
Ooh.
And I've been meaning to ask him more
dreamy.
about it because I because I thought that sounded so like cool. But I don't know if he released it yet. I should ask him that. I haven't known Dylan super long.
Gotcha.
But he's awesome.
Shout out to Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan.
And clearly, I'm sure, as everyone can see, we are not goth anymore. So we kind of cleaned up our act here on episode 1 here. However, speaking of the dream, there's been skeletons just popping up left and right. Sometimes I wonder if life is but a dream. Skeletons for everyone here tonight in the studio. What happened when we went goth, me and Tommy just a couple months ago, kind of got into it a little bit too much. But regardless, we had all these skeletons, like these mini skeletons we were supposed to pass out to the bands. And then we kept forgetting to pass out the skeletons. So that is a souvenir from Rock Radio USA.
Yeah, we were way too preoccupied with like the goth stuff. It's a slippery slope. Like it's dangerous. Like once you get started in the goth, it's like a funnel and it like sucks you into that goth lifestyle, and it's not a healthy lifestyle. Like people shouldn't be living like that. And
no, you can't be listening to The Cure 24/7.
I'm glad we escaped. I'm glad we made it
happy
out.
we escaped too.
I'm happy to be on the other side of that. So.
But with the skeletons, out and about, we do still want to get that cross country goth group running group together.
Yeah, we still have a
so anyone listening, anyone that's
team.
Interested in being goth and running some cross country, you know where to go.
All levels of running ability and also gothicness are accepted. It's you just
need a goth name and some running shoes.
The goth name is really most of it. That's the biggest part of it.
What are your goth names?
Mine is Spooky Ravensbane.
I was Damien.
Yeah, Damien Darkheart. My wife is Lady Winter von Astaroth.
Yeah. Wasting my time. Whew. That number of yours.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. Like, really enjoyed listening to all your music. But that one really hit hard.
Thank you.
Really loved the chord progression, music overall, just vibed real hard. What was do you remember creating that song where you were?
I do remember creating it. It's very like, I think I wrote it right after college, feeling like, I don't know, like you get caught up too much in like, I guess now people call it like a situationship or something, but it really wasn't that. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I do remember. And I remember feeling like my early 20s were really like, I was just so like, just too much emotional turmoil happening. Like emotional turmoil sounds so dramatic, but
and
I guess that's
all
kind
of us, though. Like you're amongst friends in that regard. Our 20s were pretty tumultuous.
Yeah, they are. And I was constantly like just listening to like snail mail a lot.
Nice.
I love snail mail.
Snail mail is great.
I was in like a very snail mail soccer mommy first couple
soccer
albums
mommy
of Soccer
is great
Mommy.
Too, yeah.
And I've recently been getting back into Soccer Mommy again, and like her earlier albums, and I'm like, this is it. Like the song
rule.
Your Dog is just like one of the most like well-written songs I've like, I don't know. I love listening back to songs that you haven't listened to in a while. Because I think I was like, I need a break from this.
It's heavy on the emotions, especially when it hits the right chords and it strikes you down like a lightning bolt. Boom, right through the heart. You know?
But then coming back to him being like, man, this is like a really good song.
Yeah.
So, I was listening to a lot of Snail Mail, a lot of Soccer Mommy. That was that era. But, yeah, I think it was just kind of a lot of like the theme of Out of My Mind is really just being stuck in my mind, essentially, and just like kind of like going through an endless loop of things that like you're trying to get out of, and it's just hard.
So that's kind of interesting. So you kind of were in a chamber of your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah, pretty much
stuck
always.
within. Yeah.
I've always been an overthinker.
One of those noisy minds.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I have ADHD and it just keeps going.
Same.
Yeah. So just, yeah, so I think like a lot of like that theme of it, of just the new stuff is like trying to move forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
What do you do whenever you feel your head gets a little too heavy or too much thoughts are racing? Do you have anything you do?
A great question. I've been actually trying to like, I feel like up until recently, it's been hard for me to figure out how to do that, but I've been in a better place, which is good.
Join the goth cross country team.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the goth cross country team changed my life.
Shout out.
So when I first joined the goth cross country team, I was addicted to crack cocaine, getting in all sorts of trouble. Goth cross country saved my life.
I think like recording the new EP definitely got me out of it because it was like something I'd been sitting on for a really long time. And I think like after COVID, I just had a hard time getting back performing and doing stuff like to be real, I guess. Like I had struggled a lot with like depression and stuff, and during COVID, it got because there was
really
nothing to
tough time for
do
that.
but
Yeah.
really sit
Very
and think
challenging.
about stuff.
Yep.
And so like that's kind of what I had been dealing with like for a few years. Just trying to get like out of that whole depression, anxiety loop, essentially. So yeah.
That's a tough time to struggle with that because there was so much out of so many people's control. At that point in life, there was so much
nothing to like
helpless.
distract you from anything. Like I do feel like it was important to deal with it. Maybe I just hadn't been dealing with any of it, pre-COVID because the world was moving so fast, and there's just no time to really, I don't know, let yourself.
Things were happening fast. It sounds.
So it's just, when there was too much time, really, to like sit and ruminate in your thoughts and let yourself spiral. So, but yeah, I mean, like, I feel like it's the past few years I've been like trying to just, how do I get out of that and get myself back on.
What have you been doing to help?
Well, medication.
Yes.
Which is a whole journey in of itself. But I moved out on my own. I've been trying to like get a routine. I was really burned out in my job, like kind of stuff. So I recently got a new job, which is I think helped like.
Okay, that's
a
good.
ton.
Something you like?
Yeah.
More your speed.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's different. Which is good because it's like.
Yeah, I love every single one of my jobs. I've never disliked any job I've ever had.
I've only been there a couple of months. But like it's different. It's in person every day, which is so different.
Oh, that's cool.
From what I was
And
doing.
in a way, it's kind of cool because everyone's going remote now, right? It's like don't see anyone. Everyone's behind a
it's
computer.
kind of good to be around people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, like, that's new. I'm learning new stuff. It's not like the same old. I was at my last job for like 6 years, and so it was just So that helped. The
It's
EP
time
helped.
to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it took a while.
Yeah, the great hiatus for a lot of people, I think, was very challenging for everyone to be like, whoa, hit with their own thoughts
The
and really
great
have to like
hiatus.
look back on it. Yeah,
Good term for that.
The great hiatus. Shout out to Thoreau. Shout out to John Charles Thoreau, who came on
Oh, cool.
one of our shows back in the day, and he referred to it as the great hiatus.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was like, that's a perfect term for it. And it really was like a great awakening of sorts, because
Yeah,
it
it
did isolate us all into like looking at everything in a big picture.
Yeah, it did.
You know, it's like, and it did seem like Mother Nature really needed the time, like the breaks to be stopped, like
Yeah.
everything. Like, I think it was good that
I remember,
we had
like, at first, I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was scary. For sure, it was so scary. But, like, getting to, like, not go into work and, you know, well, depends on who you are. But
yeah.
but just, like, staying home, it felt like kind of like a relief, too, because
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, I have a chance to breathe and, like, space out for a little bit. And then
Yeah.
by the time it's like, yeah, like a few months go by and you're like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over now. But
Speaking of like a dream, that was kind of like such a dreamy time. Like, it didn't feel real.
Yeah.
You know, there were times where I was like, is this actually real life right now?
Even looking back,
Is this
at
RL?
it's just,
looking back at it now, where it's like, did that really happen? Or like thinking back to specific days and like things like events that happened during COVID. It's like wow, like that's just doesn't seem real, you know. Or it seems like we're
yeah.
Like, I found myself in Montana, of all places.
That's
Like,
so
that's
different.
weird.
I feel like
you
that's
know?
a good
Like,
place to be during COVID.
I think Montana is a good place to find yourself anytime. That's
Yes.
an awesome state.
Totally.
Definitely top 50.
Yes, dude. Top 50 states?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
50 best
easily.
I don't know where it falls in that 50, but definitely in there.
Yeah. Have you ever considered taking the music out west?
You know, that's a great question. I love Chicago so much.
We love you, Chicago.
I know. Shout out to Chicago. I'm like, all my family's here, which I like. But I have always, like, really wanted to, like, live in Seattle for a little bit. I always thought that would be really cool. But I think that's really based off of a movie I saw in high school. It was called
Which movie?
Singles.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say Sleepless in
No.
Seattle.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like a
That's
good,
only like
500
half
Days
in
of Summer.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm like,
500 Days of Summer is
jeez.
that's San Francisco, isn't it?
Was it San Fran?
I think it's San Fran.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a tough
I think there
one
might
to
be one or two
rewatch.
shots.
It's 500
Yeah.
Days of Summer. That's as like a man to like rewatch that. Because like I watched that movie and I like spent years hating Zooey Deschanel. It's like, how dare you? Like,
I was
what
too
an
busy
awful
watching
person.
The Notebook
that
on
was so
repeat.
weird to me, like that people had that reaction to it.
Yeah, but then when you grow up and you
you're
rewatch it
like,
like as an
no,
adult, you're
he's
like,
the
what a
worst.
like, yeah, he's such
What
a
a
piece of shit.
monster.
Like, and it's like one thing after the other. It's like, and then JGL will talk about it now, where it's like, yeah, like guys, rewatch it. It's like I was not the good guy. Like
He's
I was
a
the
classic,
antagonist. In the
sad boy.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Like
Sam
our
Boy.
upcoming
OGs.
vice president. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a
Vice President of
early
SAG.
'80s
Vice
Midwestern
president.
emo, like authentic emo. Have you ever read JD Vance's emo blog?
Oh.
Do yourself a favor. Look up the.
I didn't know who we were
he had a-
talking about for a second. I was
JD Vance.
the vice
he's
president?
He's got to
What?
be the vice president soon. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a
You know, I
like a week
haven't-
or something. Yeah, exactly.
I chose not to learn too much about him.
If you learn anything, check out his like 2004 blog spot, like where he's talking about like Garden State and like the soundtrack. It's like it's so in my feelings. Like this is so my life right now.
It's so crazy because I feel like I went through a phase where I was like in a Garden State phase.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
The
love
soundtrack,
Garden
that-
State.
The soundtrack was so
It's
good.
so good.
That one Coldplay song.
It's like you play the first song off Garden State soundtrack and you just run it. Like, it's
Yeah.
so good. As soon as
Yeah.
you hear that first song, like the second one hits, every time it's flawless, front
And
to
that
back.
Simon and Garfunkel
Talk
song.
about playlists.
That's really good.
Oh, that's
and
true.
you know what? 500 Days of Summer had a great playlist.
Sure did.
Like, that song,
I'll have to revisit that one.
Sweet Disposition by the Temper Trap.
Yeah.
Hits. It just gives me like a really like nostalgic, like late 2000s, early 2010s vibe of like, I don't know.
That was like the golden era for like emo music.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that's
And like indie too.
back.
I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, like the emo indie,
Millennial
that
indie.
like vaguely folkish alt rock, you know. Yeah.
I was my dad was really into the TV show Chuck.
Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what Chuck is.
It's about like it has Zachary Levi. Rip, kind of. He's not like cool anymore, but
Okay.
What are you talking? He was Shazam.
but so he's like a spy essentially, but he's like a nerd that works at like essentially Geek Squad and Best Buy, but it's called something else. And he gets like, I don't know, it just had a lot of really cool indie music in it. My dad was really into that show, and he played the music to it like all the time. And we had this giant.
Did you have to tell him to stop?
No, we loved it.
Okay.
Don't take that away from Dad.
We loved it. So it had like all this good stuff, like Frightened Rabbit. I don't know if you know Frightened Rabbit. Like they're Scottish indie band. Okay. They're probably like one of my favorite bands, actually.
Cool. I'm definitely gonna check them out then.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad. Their band is kind of a sad
little
story.
emo.
But, yeah.
Okay.
But like the National was like
National.
I
like the National. I really.
Trying to think of like other really good songs from Chuck. Yeah, but Temper Trap was one of them, and so like.
So you kind of had an emo phase.
Kind of, but I wouldn't say it's emo.
Proper emo.
It was like as if like my dad went through like a phase where he suddenly became a millennial for like a few summers.
Yeah.
And then like just showed us all of his like favorite indie music. That was kind of what it was. But yeah, we like took a whole road trip to Florida.
No.
And played that music like the entire time. That's like such a that's a good memory for me.
That is a golden memory. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
That's a core
That's
memory,
super fun.
Like Sweet Disposition as a road trip memory song. It's a good one. But
and Florida, that's like a 24-hour drive,
that was
right?
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know like
Did you guys go straight through or did you stop?
We stopped I think once. Yeah.
Good. Dad wasn't doing red line.
He was not. Because you have to
We're making it in one run, kids.
Shout out to Red Line and Nodos.
Because you have to like go through mountains to get to Florida. And my dad was
I
like
forget about that. Yeah, there's mountains down there.
Appalachians.
you have to
Shout out
like
to
go
Cades Cove.
through Tennessee. And so they were like, I don't know, my dad was like, I'm not doing this at night. So he didn't do that at night. So
Yeah, that's a scary.
but it was like a 2-day trip. We've only did it
bonding
once.
experience.
It kind of was though.
That's
It was
wonderful.
It was actually like because I have a family of like I have a big family.
Shout out to family.
Shout out to
big
families.
families.
And I'm actually surprised that we like all got along on our way up there. So or way
It's always
down
a
there,
plus.
but yeah. It's usually all of us in one confined space at that time. Too could have been like kind of a disaster, but just because my brother and my sister were also like young and they were so close in age, and
Totally. Well, I'm happy you guys had that Florida experience.
It's a
It
good-
sounds like an
it was a good
adventure that
experience.
you will never forget.
yeah, I got really
You know?
into like that kind of music that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to check out Frightened
Rabbit.
Yes, that
Yeah.
sounds great. And it's especially if,
Something about, like,
in your
Scottish-
lane of songwriting.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to appreciate it. So thank you
Something
for that.
about Scottish indie bands are like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Cool.
something about it.
Taking it back to wasting my time.
Yeah.
Just really love some of my favorite lyrics here are replaying things in my head, going over words unsaid. I know it's bad that moments feel too much like movies to me.
Yeah.
Great line.
Your songs are all really like very lyrically driven. It's not easy to do, and then it's like having like lyrics support the song where it's like you're listening to what they're saying, you know. And
Totally.
instead of just having like chords and a melody, it's like you're listening to somebody talk, like listening to somebody say something, you know. That's good.
And currently, does life feel like a movie?
You know, not really, and it's a good thing.
You heard it here first on Rock Radio USA, episode 1. So this is good. This is like the new you.
The new me. Yeah.
It's like, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really like, it's important to romanticize your life sometimes, but not all the time.
It's not good to watch the Notebook on repeat.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if The Notebook is like would be one of my go-to movies to pick.
Fun fact, me and Mike actually watched The Notebook the night before I shipped off to boot camp. It was like I had a big party weekend, like that weekend.
I was watching it on repeat, dude.
But yeah, like I was shipping off Monday morning, but Sunday evening I was drinking some Pabst in Mike's old basement, watching The Notebook, swooning over Ryan Gosling.
That is so funny.
We have issues here at Rock Radio USA, but we are here to rock all the way to the top.
That's where I want to hold you in my heart, man. Those are some core memories for me.
Real friends.
Great PBR. Great warm beers.
It's a great movie. No, the worst one
It is
was
a good movie.
the worst time. It was not that. Was like before that when I was like home from college at one point. And we went to like one of those like bougie indie theaters in like some suburb that I don't even remember. And we went and saw
We
Blue
drove
Valentine.
like 3 hours out of our way.
Is that the Ryan Gosling one?
Yeah, if you learn something
Michelle
about
Williams?
Michael's a very big fan of Ryan Gosling. And he'll even like there's good Ryan Gosling's movie too, but that one it's horrible. It's heartbreaking. It's like heart
I'm a little emo.
Yeah, that's that one.
That
And
was
like
a movie I watched and I kind of skipped through some of the parts.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Like, take me back to like the cute parts.
yeah, exactly. Like there's it's like that non-linear storytelling.
Yeah.
So it's like let's do the beginning part where they're like happy and it's fun, and then it's like not the end where they're like old and miserable and hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good music in that movie though. That's another one.
Yeah,
Good
true.
soundtrack.
Shout out to Gosling. And then on my mind, On My Mind is another great song. Really, really great song. And love the Instead I Think About You all the fucking time. Hopefully not as much as I think about Ryan Gosling, but
that's a tall order.
Yeah. But On My Mind, how did that song come into creation?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have a crush and it's like, it's delusional. Like it's not.
Like my crush on Gosling.
Yeah, maybe that.
It's a therapy session.
I still think you got a shot.
And then it's kind of like, it's that wasting my time thing of like, being like, why am I thinking about this?
Yeah.
I have things to do. Like, I can't get wrapped up in
rumination.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what that's about. It's just like, why am I
Well,
thinking
thank
about
you
this?
for writing about it, and thank you for, really crafting and putting care into your words, into your music.
Thank you.
I really personally really enjoyed it and felt it, throughout the whole EP. So it's not easy to do. It's not easy to create something that really pops, pops. And I really appreciate, what you're doing. Do you have any shows coming up? Anything?
I'm working
cooking?
on getting another show scheduled for February.
Ooh.
But I don't have it.
Valentine's Day, maybe?
No. No. Like after that. But I don't have it confirmed, so I don't want to give too much details in case it doesn't happen. But
cool deal. Yeah. And before we do break away into the rock portion of Rock Radio USA, do want to ask, I did notice all the lowercase lettering. Was there any significance?
I don't know. It just felt like right.
I love
And then
that.
I was like, oh, is that too much? But then I couldn't go back and change it, so I just kept it.
I love it. Keep it forever.
Thank you. I do like that. I made that decision in the end, but yeah. I don't know. Thought it'd be like fun to have it all lowercase. I don't text any capitals unless I'm texting
Nice.
someone that's like a colleague. I don't know.
I like it. I like the way it looks too. It's
Thank
very.
you.
It works with the album too. The album
Yeah.
cover and the black and white.
Thank you. My friend Anna Bush designed that. She did a really good job.
Shout out to Anna. She did a wonderful job.
Yeah, we did it in the Rainbow Club. The picture from like the Rainbow Club photo booth, just kind of like copying Liz Fair, but
Shout out to Liz.
shout out to Liz.
Great.
But that was fun.
Yeah. Well, awesome. This is about the time of the show. We will break away and get into the music portion, and then we'll come back and do a roundup.
All right.
But until then, thanks everyone for tuning in. Rock Radio USA episode 1. You heard it here. And please check out the tunes and music links below. We'll break away now and then come back for the roundup.
Cool.
Thank you. Rock on.
I know I've always moved a little bit slow. People have to push me to where I need to go. And I see static always hanging over me. It shapes into figures in my dreams. I'm tired of staring at the walls, thinking of all the things I could fall into. Picture pretty things, conversation scenes, fantasies in my head. I see a tidal wave, frozen, staring straight at me. One will crash over me, wasted time. I'm always in overdrive. At least I never heard out of my mind. But I'm thinking of all the things I could fall into. Picture pretty things, conversation scenes, ruining reality for me. one. And you look like you jog every morning before you go to one of those jobs. And I know I'm not really your type. You should know you're not mine. It just felt nice when you hugged me goodbye that one time. Where are you tonight? I'm at a show, feeling just a little too high, and you're probably still in line at some country bar in River North, buying drinks for some pretty girl. And I know I'm not really your type. And you should know you're not mine. But if you asked me, I'd let you come over tonight. 'Cause I'm tired of trying so hard to get it right. Everything isn't cheap and not right. I had another dream about you last night. We were both on our way to Spain, but taking different flights. And it means something to me as a girl who believes in signs. You shouldn't be on my periphery, let alone on my mind. Oh, 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 oh. The great gut instinct can be a curse when it sits below an overactive mind. Like picking pretty flowers for your porch just to let them die. A repeating cycle, how I spend my time. And it means something to
gotta move past that.
Ready? Good. Up.
Yeah, let's go.
And hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Rock Radio, USA, Episode 1. This is the Roundup. And, whoo, you took us through some real live numbers. That was jiving. Groovy. Loved it. So cool to have you come through the studio and play.
Thanks for having me.
Play those.
This was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, how'd you feel to do like kind of an unplugged type of set?
It felt good.
Yeah.
I haven't played an acoustic set, I realized, in a while. So, not a while, but like, yeah.
I hear you. Did you ever used to do open mics?
Yeah, I did.
Where at?
I did a few at Cabaret.
Cabaret. I love that spot.
I almost said cafe.
Anyone does know of any open mics, please comment below.
Oh,
I'm always looking
I've
for.
Heard, oh my god, I saw one
mics to
recently, and if I find it, I'll send it to you. But I did see one, and I think I saved it on Instagram, but I'm not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, well, never mind. I was gonna say someone posted in the DIY Chicago group, and then I was like, actually, I don't think that's true.
There needs to be more open mics.
I've always felt like there were, because every time you look for an open mic, it's always comedy because we're in Chicago. So
that's true. That's true. Well, any type of excuse to just get like people together and to like showcase songs or like hang out, paint and make music, I feel like I wish there was more open community spaces where it's like people were just doing art and like creating, I'm doing a music video over here on the, west side of the bench.
I did like the open mics at Golden Dagger too before they were, because that was a good space.
Okay. I never got to go to the...
Yeah, they used to be Tonic Room, and then they like rebranded and fixed that stage.
Mm-hmm. I used to always go to Heartland Cafe.
Oh,
and it used to
Park.
be, in Rogers Park. It was every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I would go every Wednesday. I'd go to Caffeine every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one. And it was fun. I liked seeing acoustic songwriters, but then one or two comedians get up there and bomb. It's always bomb.
It's such a weird it's such a weird mix to have like acoustic sets and then like a comedian. At Burlington Bar, after my show, they were doing a whole comedy open mic in the front part of the bar.
Really?
And no one knew that.
I didn't know the Burley does that.
Apparently they do. And
Night at the Burley, let's go.
Yeah, we were leaving, and apparently, like, my brother came up to me and was like, yeah, Mom and Dad are, like, leaving, and this, like, comedian's up there talking about, like, having sex and, like, loads of sex, and Mom and Dad are just, like, chilling out there. I was like, okay.
Wow.
That's crazy. I didn't know they were doing an open mic out there, but...
Yeah. Wild.
Whatever, yeah.
Well, we got to go, Tommy.
Yeah, it sounds like that's our
apparently Sunday nights, apparently.
And shout out to Michael T. Coe. I love Audio Martyr. If you have not heard Audio Martyr, one of my favorite singer-songwriters. He's been on the past show before, back in the day. And what he did, which is super cool, is one day out of the blue, he just was like, I'm getting in my car and I'm going all the way to... I'm just going to travel and hit all the open mic nights. So he was literally booked his own tour by just getting in his car and just hitting open mics. And he went all the way to from Cali to the East Coast, like New York, and then back over. And while he was on the road, he came through to do the show.
Oh, wow.
But literally booked his tour around open mics.
I guess that's a good way to meet people.
Mm-hmm. It was an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So shout out to Audio Martyr. But great numbers and great songwriting. Really appreciate what you're laying down. And excited to see what becomes of your music. Do you have any plans to record any new stuff?
I have plans to write more.
Cool. Get back into the writing process.
and then record more after I write more.
What is your like writing process? How do you go about creating songs?
It's hard because I don't feel like I have any sort of like consistent way I do things. Sometimes I write the music before I do the lyrics, or I'll do the lyrics separate and the music separate, but then I'll like kind of mash them together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard because sometimes that can feel awkward. Yeah, and I overthink a lot, so it takes me a while to write a song.
It is particularly difficult to take like one like chunk of words that vibes and then with another one and like combined it.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, because every now and then it feels like you'll get like one really good line and then like a good like chord progression, and you'll want to like kind of keep that close together, but then there's a third idea will come in. And it's like, how do you tie all three?
Yeah,
you know, like
I
how
know
do you
what you mean, yeah.
how do you take the blue notebook lyrics and mix it with the yellow notebook lyrics and combine to like a hybrid? You know?
Yeah, or like sometimes I've been trying to do more writing, and yesterday I was like, I wrote like I found some really like pretty chords in like an open tuning, and the only lyrics I could think of were like about some guy I was seeing who like said he'd cook me dinner, and he warmed up his leftovers, and I couldn't like, and it was like the only thing I could think of to like match that to, and I was like, this isn't.
Do you ever pull up the notes app?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sometimes. I mean, I could.
You know how like free generates the word? Like automatic, it will pick the word for you if you have the setting for
like the three
recommended
words.
text.
Yeah,
recommended text.
Yeah.
You ever try that?
Kind of. I mean, but what it usually comes to is like I've done that thing where you press the center word just over and over and over again, and it's like I don't know, something crazy like that. But
some high-tech found poetry.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it's like, and I don't know, and I just
Or you can go
just-
back to going flipping through a magazine or a newspaper and cutting out random words,
Yeah.
and then kind of
Ooh,
like
that's
throw
that's
all
a
the
pretty
words
good-
in like a bag and then shake it up and
Yeah. Yeah.
because I write every day, like pretty much. I this comes up a lot when we're talking about songwriting, is like whether or not you like take time out of your day, like pencil time in, like to force yourself to sit down and journal and write, or do you just wait until it comes to you?
So I'm trying to do less waiting until it comes to me.
Okay.
Just talked about that in therapy, just a general.
I like it. I like it.
Just a
What's the
general-
game plan?
I don't know. I have to. Well,
So this is a new idea.
it's a new idea. It's as of yesterday.
Work in progress.
Yeah, it is. It's so I don't know. I used to like journal a lot more than I do now. But I don't know. I just kind of stopped, but now I've been like more writing as I play.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing like what comes that way.
I love that.
But sometimes I will get like an idea in my head, and then I'll put it in the notes app. But sometimes that just gets lost. I don't have to look back at the notes, which I should.
That's really exciting that you're diving into that, because for me, I love like when you hit the camera and just let it record and then just kind of play and let whatever comes stream of conscious
Yeah, I've been doing more of that.
happen. There's something awesome about, that like, I don't know, it's like almost like the idea or song is literally channeling through you, like in that moment,
Yeah.
There's a couple like numbers where it was literally you hit record and like that take is the take. Like it ends up being like, oh, that's the song. It's done.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that happen to you?
Sometimes I think it's because it's better when happens. Most of it happens at once. Yeah, I think maybe Just Fine was like that, and
That's cool.
on my mind a little bit too.
Cool. If you haven't, definitely like just hitting, record on your whatever laptop or your computer, and just set like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and don't think about it. Just play like what comes
I have
through.
I have done that. Then sometimes I don't go back and listen to it for some reason.
Oh yeah,
that's important.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do have to go back and listen.
Part of me's like, no, it's okay. I don't know what I don't know what mental block is there that I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but I should.
Yeah,
I think part of me is like, well, what if I don't remember like the chords I was playing?
That's the best part. Because then you have to like figure it out, and then that like kind of teaches you to kind of find your way around.
Doing more videos, or I've started in the like voice memo. I'm like, okay, I am on the 5th fret, But
I was listening to a demo earlier today where it was like, oh, this is 3rd fret, G string, 4th fret, and then A, and then the triangle chord, like, or the upside down emo chord or whatever. I don't know.
That's
the way we try to memorize chords in Rock Radio USA studio is a little bonkers.
I grew up. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I grew up like watching Friends religiously.
Nice.
And all that makes me think of is like how Phoebe was teaching Joey to play guitar, and she was like, and this one I call the old lady, and it's just her doing like a chord, but they all look the same.
That's exactly me. Like I'm trying to talk to Tommy. I'm like, Tommy, this chord is like a upside down umbrella with a spider on top. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
It was last week you trying to do like a C7 chord.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you didn't like.
I think I called it the Green Day chord. I was like, what's the Good Riddance? Oh, it's the Good Riddance chord. Like,
so it's like the more like emotive, like sad C chord.
Yeah.
C add 9.
Yeah, that one too.
Do you know your chords?
What?
Do you know your chords?
I know chords. A lot of the times I don't know when I'm writing. I don't play the chords I know. I'm never like, this is G now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about it feels like a little too stuck to me.
Gotcha.
So I normally kind of go by ear. But yeah, I don't know a lot of the chords I'm playing.
I feel you.
Except for like a few songs, but.
What was the first chord you ever learned?
That's a good one. Honestly, I think C at 9, which is so random.
Nice.
Because I think the first song I ever learned was like Brown Eyed Girl, which is very classic.
Shout out to Van Morrison.
Yes.
Yeah. But so I guess it would have been G, D, C.
What's your favorite?
My favorite chord, I love I always call it the C sharp major 7. Major 7. But it's A major 7, isn't it? A major 7.
The one that sounds better.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like the same thing. It's just what you're playing. It makes it different. I don't know. That and like D major 7. I just love major 7 chords.
Cool.
Very versatile chords.
Yeah.
So I used to like Van Morrison a lot. I like that Into the Mystic. That was like one of my favorite songs until I realized that it was a song about having sex with Van Morrison. Changes it a lot.
But with the songwriting, another thing I do like to recommend too is have you ever read The Artist's Way?
I've tried to do the Artist's Way thing.
Yeah, I love what I take by in that book is the morning pages and no matter what, right out of bed, literally out of the dream, hit the page with the pen and hit 3 pages no matter whatever comes to you.
Yeah. I tried doing it, and I think once I was like, this is hell. For some reason, I was like, this is like the worst. I feel nauseous. Like, what did I feel? I don't know. That was like years ago.
How long did you try it for?
That might have been just like a couple days.
Gotcha. It is tough. It is really tough to get started.
It's really hard for me to stick with things. But yeah. I have heard a lot of good things about the Artist's Way.
Yeah.
I think like the morning pages, yeah.
They can help. But
Yeah.
journaling, just committing to journaling. Or committing to,
journaling.
a time in the day where you are going to write no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that really is really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard. I don't know what it is. If it's like, I started working 9 to 5 every day, and it feels like a little bit like, okay, it's lunch, and I'm going to go journal, and it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. It's like not like a lot of inspirations coming to me during that time. But
when do you find the inspiration hits?
great question. Honestly, morning. Like not morning, but like your day is moving and it's the morning.
Totally.
I don't know if that makes any
There's
sense.
something
Like 10 a.m.
Yeah, brand new day.
Yeah.
The sun just
You're
coming
like in a
up.
groove
everything
already.
is new.
Yeah.
Everything is fresh.
Yeah. That's always like then when I'm like sitting at my desk at work and I'm like, I'm so motivated to like clean my apartment right now.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't know.
I hear you. Well, for any of the listeners out there, do you have any tips on how to stay warm this Chicago
warm?
winter? It's brutal out there, y'all.
It is hard. Warm clothes, obviously. Staying warm. Tea.
Tea helps.
Shout out to tea.
Shout out
Shout
to
out.
tea.
Tea is a big help.
I've been getting real into tea lately. I recently quit smoking marijuana from being a
He did. I'm
round
so
the clock
proud of him.
smoker.
Wow.
Shout out.
That's
Rock
good.
Radio
The tea has
USA
been-
episode 1. Boom.
The sleepy time tea especially has been real good for like putting it out.
Good.
But then
Yeah.
the dreams have just been horrible. Like you talk about like dream journal or like waking up writing. It's like I wake up now and just like bewildered and terrified, like with just whatever I woke up from, or whatever I was dreaming.
I think a good suggestion I'd have, I guess, for getting off of marijuana and like trying to sleep better is my friend did this like heated eye mask.
Ooh.
That helps apparently, but you have to like kind of plug it in and then it.
Oh, that's yeah.
But,
does sound
or there's
interesting.
some that like are disposable that kind of like heat up on their own.
I think like ones that are like filled with like that blue fluid that you could warm up or like put in like
like those too,
like
yeah.
boil in water for a little bit and then it like stays warm.
Yeah.
I just recently got for my dog. I have 2 little teeny tiny little rescue dogs.
They're the cutest.
Aw.
They really are the best dogs. Well, one of them is. The other one is she tries. But we just got one of those things. It's like what you're talking about, like an eye mask, but it's like a dog bed, just a little thing for them, and they love it. And it's
Like
like
a
they're
heating pad.
Yeah, it's like really, it's just like a little dog bed heating pad, and they are going nuts for
Humans
it.
can use heating pads. Another tip to stay warm.
There we go.
Bringing it all back.
Hand warmers.
I have one for my cat too.
Shout out. What's your cat's name?
Sunny.
Aw.
Sunny.
That's
Shout out
it.
to Sunny.
The
She's
perfect time of year for
truly-
Sonny.
Truly the biggest shout out to Sunny. I love her so much. Yeah.
So, what kind of cat?
She's just like a tabby, kind of, but she's got like kind of raccoon pattern
Oh, cool.
cat. But she's like that kind of pattern. I don't know how else to describe
Cats
it.
should rule the world. Or do they already?
I have a joke that Sunny is the secret mayor, which doesn't make a lot of sense to
Kinda
people.
does make sense.
That's the mayor we need. Ever since we lost Lightfoot, there's just been a void.
I don't know like what came up with it. I think we were like oh, she's like a mob boss secretly, like no one can cross her. But then we were like, no, she's the secret mayor. She's actually running everything behind the scenes.
The oligarch pulling the strings. I get
Yeah.
the ball of string.
Yeah.
What was your first ever guitar that you purchased?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it was a No, it was something. It was something that like it was like a beginner guitar from.
Cool.
Well,
Acoustic?
first one I purchased, like saved up my money and got.
Uh-huh.
Was probably my Seagull, which I still have.
And you played?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I could be way more into guitars, and I'm not. But like the electric guitar I use,
I still don't know what
yeah,
all the guitars
it's
I
a
own.
Fender Squier. But
Yeah.
my cousin gave it to me, and he really like used that guitar. It was like his first guitar, and he like scratched off the S on Squire, so it's like it just says choir.
Yeah, if you want to talk guitars,
And that's my
Metal
guitar
Marine
that
is
I
the place to go. Tommy is the king of guitar land.
My cousin, my cousin Jack, that's his name. He's really into it. He's got a 12-string. It's very good too, but
12 strings are a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about playing the 12-string?
I don't know. I've never played it, but I don't know. I've been meaning to like ask
You
him
should check
if
it
I
out.
can just try it.
With your music and how dreamy it is,
Yeah.
I think that could really
I've always thought that it.
be fun for you.
Yeah.
12 strings are a lot of fun until you got to tune them. You
Or
gotta,
string them.
yeah, or string
Like,
them. It's
I've
two
never-
guitars. It's
Yeah.
like doing it to two guitars, and then it's like
Yeah.
having your B or your G string. That like whichever one never wants to stay in. It's like, well, now you got two of them, and it's like them staying in tune with each other. Like good luck. So
Well, when you are not, songwriting and
Yeah.
making and creating all this badass music you're dropping, thank you. Do you ever game? You got any fun video games you've been?
Not really. I mean, the most I've ever gamed is Stardew Valley, which I got really into
Cool.
over the past year.
Mm-hmm.
I like that game a lot.
It's like cartoon life,
Yeah. And then,
It's so homey.
yeah, it is
you know?
extremely homey.
Yeah.
Very cozy. So I like that. But, I've never been a gamer. Yeah.
It doesn't help with your songwriting. So if you're looking to get more motivated, gaming not so much gonna help.
Yeah.
But-
The only video games I really know are like the ones I grew up with. On
Feel
like
ya.
Wii.
Yes, the Wii. I love the Wii.
GameCube.
Still got to play the Wii every now. Wii Fit.
Wii Fit.
Classic.
The stepping game.
Well, I do also just want to ask, love asking the artists that come on to the show, to any young or artists out there who want or would like to get started down their art journey but haven't yet, is there any advice you would give them?
To just go for it. I know that's like very simple advice, but just starting or like being vulnerable is really hard because that's what it is. Like, like anyone that's singing or doing anything that they've created themselves or like just learning to play a song and sing it that already exists, it's like that's like already so brave. Just like
Yes.
start, and then
I love that advice.
it's never as scary as you think it is going to be. And then you meet people, and then that's kind of how you make it all happen. But yeah.
Well, thank you. I love it. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, check out Genna Simon's music.
Genna
Simon's music.
Genna Simons.
Link below.
Genna
And
Simon. Sorry, it's not.
Simon.
Apostrophe S. Sorry.
Apostrophe S, sorry.
Genna Simon, link below. And thank you so much for coming on. And
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's
Awesome.
awesome.
rock on, everyone. Good night. Peace.